This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, it's Kimberly Bell with Real Estate Office bringing you education this week. We're going to go ahead today and we're going to talk about setting up your profiles and folders in Transaction Desk. So we're gonna do the transaction profile last, Transaction Desk profile last, but we're going to go ahead and talk about Flex MLS. So the first thing, of course, you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, if you want to minimize the go to meeting box, or if you want to watch first and then minimize and work on this, then that'll be something you can do. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. You're going to log into your Flex MLS. And everybody's Flex MLS is going to look a little bit different. But now that you're logged into Flex MLS, in the right-hand corner, there's a drop-down box right here. You're going to drop this down.
We can't see what you're doing.
Well, if you can't see it? You can't see my screen?
No, because we have MLS open.
Okay, well, if you go ahead and toggle over to what I'm doing, and then when I get to a stopping point, then you can go and do it yourself, or I'll use words. Either way, whichever way you want to do.
If you use words, that would be good.
Okay, so on the right hand side of your screen, there's a drop down arrow. It has your initials. If you drop down right there, at the bottom of that drop down, it has like your login, your username, and then it has your profile. So click my profile, should be right above your logout. Your profile should come up, and it'll say my profile. It has my names, my personal photo and logo maintenance, my documents, and security. So the first thing that we're going to do for making sure that our profile is the way that you want it to be, you're going to click my names, and it's going to give you the name that you are using, that cannot be changed, your first name and your last name. Then it has your marketing name. This is the name that can appear on most of your emails that you're sending through Flex MLS to your clients. It would also appear in subscriptions. It would also appear in any sort of marketing tools that you're using from Flex MLS, because you can do all kinds of flyers and things like that. So you would want to type under your marketing name the name that you want to use. Like if I decided that as Kimberly, I wanted to be known as Kim, I could put Kim Bell there, and then I could put a comma and say Goofy Broker, if that's what I wanted to be named as, Kim Bell, comma Goofy Broker. Or I could put what I really want to be known as, Kimberly Bell, comma Principal Broker. So that's my title. I know that Sheila has worked hard for educational purposes to have her broker's license. She has her broker's license, and she absolutely should use that title. I would suspect that Sheila's going to write something like Sheila Morgan or Sheila Cook Morgan, one of those preferences, and she's probably going to put a comma and put broker. Now you can also use affiliate broker. If you're not a full broker, you could put affiliate broker there. You could put real estate agent. You could put realtor, as long as when you do that it's all capitalized per the guidelines of the NAR. Down below that, you have designations. You can scroll down through those designations and add them over. We talked about the ePro class being free right now. Once you complete that, you could add ePro and add it to your selected. Then you have display options. And you would say on your default listing name,
This is cool.
include the designations. And at the default footer name, you can drop down that box for marketing name, or if you want both names there, your general name and your marketing name, which is kind of redundant. I use my marketing name and I include my designations, and I do it on my footer, my public, and my private. That's how I do that. Then when I'm done deciding how I want that to look right there, I click next.
The private only includes the designations, not the name.
The what?
The private view,
Only, yeah, it's
it's
only
only
designations.
designations.
Yes. So then after you're done with your names, you go down to the next. If you click next, it'll take you back to my profile. When you're done with when you're here at my profile again, you can click on the box beneath names, which is personal photo and logo maintenance. On the left-hand side, you may not have anything in this box, but you probably want something in this box. So you're going to either add new, edit, remove, or be done. So you can add new. You choose which type that you're adding. You're either adding a logo or a photo of yourself. And then you choose that file. And the way you do that is that it's blinking in the box, but right underneath that it says choose file. You choose a file from your computer or from Drive. And then once the destination is in the box from the chosen file, you click add. And then it comes down below and it allows you to resize the image if you need to. So once you've done that and added a photo of yourself, you would repeat the action by adding new and adding your logo by clicking new. And then you would take the radial button, which is the little circles with where you put the dot, and change it to logo. Choose the file and find your logo. Once you've chosen the logo file, you're going to click add and decide if it needs to be resized or not. This is the logo that's going to appear, you know, on all of your things. How we doing? Do you have are you guys good on that? Can I move forward?
Yep, I'm
I'm
ready.
good.
Okay, so another profile that you would want to look in, and I didn't preview this one, but it just kind of came to my attention. So from here, you would want to go into the CRS tax search. see if it's gonna let me. Yeah, it is, good. So this profile in the CRS tax search that you're hitting on from the MLS, you're going into the tax search from the MLS. There's a profile and settings in there as well. So under where it says MLS Tax Suite, towards the right, above prospecting, there's a button where you can hover over the top. It'll give you the finger setting where you can click it, profile and settings. We're going to click there. And so in profile and settings, there's all these different things that you can do, and you can make all kinds of settings. We're going to go over some brief things. You want to make sure your name appears the way that you want it to appear.
This is
So
great.
my name, ma'am.
Oh, I just said, this is wonderful. I didn't even know this existed.
So you're going to put, like, again, Kimberly Bell. I want it to say principal broker. So if whatever you want, however you want your name to appear, this is where you would do it. You would also, if you want a photo to appear on your CRS documents, this is where you're going to load that photo. So take a minute to find your photo. Okay, make sure that your phone number, the company, your phone number, your email, and what I did is the phone number, it says under phone number that it needs to be office and or cell done with a slash. What I did is I put my phone number or the office number there, because the office number should appear on all of your advertising. And then under personal note, I added my cell phone number. And then if you make those changes, make sure that you hit save. So this is under branding preferences. Next, you can click over and you can add email address, entering a default emailing address there. You can go as far as to do anything there, and do all different kinds of settings. I'm not going to go through all of the settings because the purpose of this is to make sure that your branding has been updated. So if your branding has been updated there, I want to make sure that you're ready to move forward, or do I need to pause a moment?
I think I'm good.
You're good. Sonia, are you good to move forward?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So from here, now that this took us to the CRS tax data. I now want to go back to Flex MLS, and at the top of Flex MLS, I'm going to hit Transaction Desk. I'm doing this to make sure that I can get into Transaction Desk. You may already have Transaction Desk open, is what I was going to say. And if you do, great. That's wonderful. So in Transaction Desk is a little bit harder than all the rest. So the way that you get into your settings in Transaction Desk is on the left-hand side of your screen, there are gears for setup. You're going to click those gears. And one of the things that I have struggled with Transaction Desk is how difficult it is to figure out where everything is, because there's just so much to it. You would click on preferences, and the preferences allows you to put in information and set your Transaction Desk up. So you're going to click down user information. And so what happens is that this preferences, if your agent license ID, for example, isn't there, it will not populate on anybody else's documents or yours. This is where that information comes from. So you're going to take a moment and make sure that that is filled out the way that you want it to be filled out. And your agent ID, that is your NERDS number. And it should already be there. If you're in this preferences, it should already be there. When you're done with checking your user information, the next one down would be the office information. And that is going to be something that you're not going to be able to edit. It's going to be what is put in. If you open office information and there is an error, you just need to let me know so that I can contact the administration to make sure that it gets fixed. So there's nothing you can do with office information. You have an email signature though. The signature box is all where you go out and how much, you know, however you want to say. So mine reads Kimberly Bell, comma, principal broker. Then I have the company, the real estate office. I have the company tagline, which you don't have to have. It's just what I have. You could make it whatever your tagline is. Mine says the corner of welcome and home. Then I have the office phone number and I have my cell phone number. That's what I have. But the
You don't
biggest
have
thing
your
is-
email address, and I have my email address and license number there.
I don't, because the email address that any email is going to come from is going to be my email. So it's not coming from, you know, info@Transaction Desk. If I'm
That's
making an
okay.
email out of Transaction Desk, it's actually going to say that it came from my email address. But you could add your license number. You could add your email address for sure. So take a minute, make sure that email signature looks like you want it to. The next box down is branding. And in branding, you know, there's some things that you should definitely have here. You need to be able to when you open branding, some things should automatically appear, which should be your company logo, and you should have the company logo and possibly a personal photo. So those should be there. That's where that is. And then, of course, the next drop down is login. You can change your password here. So you'd have to put your password in and all of that. We are going to move from this part of Transaction Desk. You're going to want to leave Transaction Desk open because I am going to do a lesson on that. Another place in which you would have a profile would be on TN Realtors. So some people I like to access, of course, I don't know if you know that this even exists, but TN Realtors is the state site. Okay, so the state site is tnrealtors.com. And you should have a sign-in for that. If you don't, you definitely need to create one and make that happen. So make sure that you make a note if you don't have a login to the state site, that you go ahead and you do that. You would also, again, come over to the right-hand side. I'm finding it interesting. I don't have a photo here. So you're going to go to the right-hand side, and once you're logged in, that's where you are going to edit your profile. So there's a search button, and then right next to that mine says welcome Kimberly Bell. And lo and behold, my profile is not up to date on this one. So we're going to click edit my profile. And I started working on this, but I never finished it. So something might have got into the middle of what I was doing. When you click edit your profile, you can choose personal options to add your own color scheme.
Kimberly, I
Yes.
went back, I was changing my photo. Did we log in?
You have
Here.
to log into tnrealtors.com to get to this portion, correct?
Okay.
So then once you're logged in and you click edit profile, you can choose that color scheme. You can look at your name and see how your name is being presented. You can look at your contact information and add all different kinds of, hey, this is how you do it, you know. You can do a biography about yourself. And I'm not going to pause real long right here for you to be able to do all of it. I do, though, you can come back and do that biography right here. You can change, that's why I didn't change my picture, because you got to do it through Gravatar. And I don't have a Gravatar. That's why I didn't do it. So you can, if you choose to do a picture, you have to go into Gravatar. When you click it, it's going to take you to Gravatar. I just decided that I was going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to add a photo.
Yeah, there's another area on here, Kimberly. If you scroll all the way down, it says
Yeah.
your photo without having to go into Gravatar.
Okay.
So just a heads up.
That's good. And since I'm in Gravatar, I'm going to go ahead and add that photo.
Shoot. I went all the way out.
But once it's square. So here I am in Gravatar. I have to rate my picture. And there we are. I don't know. Okay. So there is where we're at on that. Let me see if I can get back to. I get out of that. Yeah, it didn't even carry over. So
Sonia, did your picture go in that way?
I
Sonia,
just loaded my picture and I'm just, maybe it goes somewhere else. But but I don't know, it might have been too big. I don't know if they rejected it.
My
At the bottom-
profile, oh, it says that your profile has been submitted for review.
Oh, for me?
No, I don't know.
can't see my picture. I
It's
entered
all
it
the way at
to-
the bottom.
Yeah, it's all the way at the bottom.
I found that and I put it on there, but I don't see the picture.
Neither do I, and I uploaded it. So I don't know if maybe they're just making you go through Gravatar.
Yeah. Oh, it's there now. It's
Oh,
there
okay.
now. I
Oh,
uploaded
did you refresh?
it. I just uploaded. Update profile. I pushed update profile.
Yeah, so then you
It
hit
finally did
update
put it in.
profile. So then you hit update
And it
profile.
says it's been submitted.
So now this would be a good time to take note. You have various other places.
Wait just a minute. There at the bottom, there's also addresses, lines, and phone numbers, which is not at the top. Should we put that in there?
So I put extra fields there and I put my address as the office with my
I would put it
cell
as
phone number is what I did.
as your cell phone number.
I used my cell phone number there. I've never
Yes.
seen that appear anywhere, so I just went ahead and used my cell phone. I thought maybe if they were trying to get a hold of me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's not above. Or if somebody else in the state was trying to find someone, I would think that would be useful.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just don't, I hope that picture goes where it's supposed to go.
Well, and it looked like mine had been there a while. I don't know, or if it came from the avatar or where it came from. So
On the Facebook, since we have a Facebook business page, should we put that in there? And what would we put in there?
you would have to actually go to the Facebook page to get it, is why I didn't upload it. Because I'm not going to log into Facebook right now. Because I don't know it.
I
You
don't
definitely
know
could.
either. Okay, I guess we can see on this. Is it anywhere we can get this to see? Actually, yes.
Yeah, when you go onto your Facebook, when you go onto Facebook and you log into the office, that's the link right there.
No. I didn't mean that. Okay.
Okay. So other profiles that I'm not going to go into today that I think that would be very beneficial for you to go and update. The ones that we went over just now are probably the most important. Okay? Because that's your vision of how you look to others. But there's other profiles out there like Zillow that you need to write down to update. You need to go to the NAR site and make sure your profile looks good there. You would want to go to realtor.com and any site in which you think that you need to be on. Make sure that they're all up to date. So I find all the time that I'm logging into sites and going, wow, that's my old photo. I need to update my photo on that site. So I have to go back in and I have to put all of that on there. So know that you can go and update your profiles on those sites. For NAR, you will need your NRDS number to be able to do that, but they've added a cool little toggle to where you can do it right there on the screen now. So you can search for your NRDS number right there without having to leave the site, which I really like that they did that. So if you want to go back into Transaction Desk, however you feel fit to get there, I am going to go over creating folders and why you should create folders. This is the other part of the lesson for today, why you should create folders in your transactions. So if you want to go back to GoToMeeting so you can see it, or you can log in and follow along, however you want to do. Of course, it's going to be on a different transaction because you don't have my transactions in your board, but putting the GoToMeeting screen back up where I'm sharing my screen is definitely an option. I'm giving you a minute to get back to there.
Kimberly, somewhere or other, I zapped where I can see GoToMeeting, and I don't know where to go back to get it.
So on there's a little black bar that goes across your screen.
Yes, at the bottom.
If you click expand, which are the arrows that go away from each other.
Okay, I got it. It's back.
Okay. So you should be able to see my screen right now.
It says
which has
broker dashboard.
on it.
Your screen says broker dashboard.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
So I'm going to a transaction. I am going to use 192 Abbey Lane as an example. So when I'm in the transaction itself, where I'm creating folders is in the document section. And I am going to go to documents. What happens is, so there's a couple of things that I want to go over here. This is my particular, this is my transaction, okay? But more often than not, I see people will upload, like for example, this one probably isn't a good one to be an example of, but people don't label what they're doing. So maybe they upload a document and it says Cisco Fax 1. Well, what the heck is the Cisco Fax? So if you've uploaded a document into documents from the other agent and they've not named it correctly, you would click on these 3 dots right here and you would click rename and you would change the name here. And you would click rename. And the reason that you're going to rename documents is so that you know what they are. So I know for certain that this document right here is 192 Abbey Lane buyer signed documents. I know that that's what that is. It means to me, because this is my transaction, that the seller hasn't signed it, that only the buyer has. But again, right beneath there, now I've got another one. Well, what I might need to know is what the difference is. I know because this is my transaction that this means that after I received it, there were some things that I needed to sign, and this means that I signed it. I do not want to send this one to the seller. I needed to send this one with my signature. I know that, but maybe I need to rename it. So I'm going to rename it. I'm going to rename it seller signed documents with KB signed. Rename. So now we've renamed it and it makes it clearer as to what is going on. So now I know that this particular one, I need to add a new folder. So I'm going to come up to the top of this document section over here to the right, and I'm going to click add. The drop down menu will come down just as if I've added new documents. I can also add a new folder. Add a new folder, and I am going to make this be 192 Abbey Lane, the buyer on this is Muse, because usually our seller doesn't change. Usually it's the buyer that changes. So sometimes you'll have multiple buyers. We want to make sure that the multiple buyers, you know, that you don't get them confused. So I have an Abby Lane file here, and I want Abby Lane folder. It appeared at the top right here. And everything I want to move in there, I would click. So I know that this isn't complete. I could click here. I know that I want this. And maybe I want a separate folder for all my certificates, just to make sure that I have them all. And these right here, they're not signed. So I only want signed documents in my, this one's done. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna take all of those signed documents and anything that I would need for Kimberly Crowder, and I'm going to move them. And I'm going to click move. So I'm going to go over that again. There's a basket right here, and it says there are 6 items in that basket. I can click them, and I am going to move them. And I am going to move them. It says these are my documents that I've selected. I'm going to move them into this folder right here. I'm going to click the folder. And then it asks me to click move here. So I'm going to click move here. So now we're going to, now they are all there. Maybe I want to add another folder. So I'm going to go up here to the add button again.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
We're going to click add new folder. 192 Abby Lane Muse certificates for signings. Those certificates tend to be in my way quite a bit. So I've added another folder there. I'm going to put all those certificates together. Make sure there isn't any more. Now that I've clicked on the 3 certificates, if you have a lot of signings, this could be a lot more. We're going to click on the basket. We're going to go to the move arrow right here. And again, I'm going to select the folder that I want them in. And I'm going to tell them to move it there. We're going to open that folder up just so you can see it. And there they are. You open and close. You can go back home like this. So you open the folder by clicking the folder. You close it by clicking go back home. So then at this point I can determine what it all I need. Like this one was missed. I could go like this. I could go over here and do a click move here because I'm just doing one. I can copy or I can move to a folder. I want it to be this folder and click move here. So there's 2 different ways to move. You can do it from these 3 buttons, or if you're doing more than one, like I could say, I could add another folder. And I could do 192 Abby Lane. Not needed but keep. So the reason we keep everything, but maybe you have multiple copies of things. So we would want to keep everything to be on the safe side. So I save that. And I decide that I am going, remember this is a duplicate and these are duplicates. They're just at a different level. These are checklists. So we're gonna leave that there. Now that we've done 4 of those, we're coming back up to the basket and we're moving them into the 192 Abbey Lane, not needed but keep file. And I'm telling them to move it here. And my board looks a lot better. Maybe the file needs to say 192 Abbey Lane. And then your 3 little, when it's all done, everything would be merged. So I have my listing packet here. You would have your document package for the purchase and sales agreement for when you actually have a contract. And then you would have your closing and disbursement. And in the end, it would look like that, where it's all just 3 brief things, everything having been merged together like it should be. Remember, if you're going to merge something, you would click on whatever you're merging. So you would click on the things that you're merging and then say that I was needed to merge them all from in this folder into the things that I needed to upload for my listing or whatever I'm doing. Your merge button is here. So what I did was I clicked on the radials, went to the basket, clicked on the basket, and when right here where the 2 arrows and there are 3 pieces of paper there, you would click merge. Now the fear is what? Is the moment I click merge, all of those are going to merge together. And you don't have to fear that. You can click merge. You do need to name what you're merging. You would name it here. And then say that I don't like the order that they're in. Then I can move them up and down by left clicking and clicking on these lines and moving them around in whatever order I need them to be in. Then when you're done,
When it comes to
the name,
Kimberly,
what?
when it comes to the listing packet, contract packet, closing packet, we have a page to put on top. And then from that page, I put them in the order that they're listed, whether
Correct.
I think it's right or wrong. So it's easier for you to find.
Correct. So the way that I make that a digital copy, I'll close out of this for a minute and go there, is this right here is what the checklist looks like. And she didn't type the seller's name in here, but I do it digitally through AuthentiSign so that I never have to print it. AuthentiSign
So you
allows,
send it to AuthentiSign and then you're able to mark them.
right. So the way that I do that, it looks like this. Let me go to one that isn't, let me find one that doesn't have.
And if I want it, sometimes I write words.
Yeah, you can do that there. I'll go over that right now. I'll do it right now for you. So here is the checklist.
I'm debating whether I want to do it this way or the way I do it, but.
Right, and that's the whole idea. So see how this checklist is blank? I would send it through AuthentiSign and then this is in everybody's transactions. It's already added to your documents. So this document is already there.
If we use your thing.
If you use my template, correct.
Yes.
So you click the pen. And then it brings me into Authentisign. You would click add participant. You would add yourself as a remote signer. Click add. The documents we know is this Tennessee residential listing checklist. I love that they've added these boxes that are nice and big now, as opposed to being so little like they were before. You go down to the next step, step 4, which is design. And then you're able to come over here and click markup
Mhm.
and then hit draw text. You'd put the address. Markup. You should put your seller. JP Morgan Chase Bank, comma, NA. And then that's in markup. That's how you do that text. So if there were things that you wanted down here on the bottom for additional notes, you would do a text box.
Mhm.
That. And you could say, Kimberly, I don't have septic information because the county never returned my, hang on a minute, 5 phone calls.
Sorry.
It's okay. See attached for evidence of my requests. Something like that. So we have that there. We still need to come back up to the top and say, okay, I'm going to do my drag and drop. I'm going to drag and drop my name there, creating my signature. Any of my X's, I can go like this and put my X's where they need to be. X.
I got it.
Like that. Then you would click next. Okay. Once you're done deciding that you have everything that you need that's required or not required, if if for some reason like we didn't have something, an MLS brief or a disclaimer notice or something, you can go back to markup. You can talk about it. You can put a box here, move it the way you want to, and say, not signed for X reason. Then when you're done with that, you can click next. And it's going to send the invitation to your email. And then once it's signed, it would bring you back to, so I can come back over here to the right-hand side. I'm still in the transaction and click documents. Once it's signed, it would bring it right back in here. They have changed how the signing invitation looks. They changed it this week. I love the way it looks. So I wanted to take you there and show you. And then we're going to wrap up this conference. Well, it's not there yet.
Well, but it's not good.
Let's see if it'll be there. Hopefully it will be. Oh. See if it went to my spam.
You know, at this point, I think it's a little bit early to work more. 350, maybe 340, but no longer than that.
Hey, Becky, can you mute your microphone, please?
Okay, okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Becky, can you mute your microphone, please?
Okay.
So the signature looks like this. This is what goes to your buyer or your seller as well. But you can also send it to yourself so that you can sign that particular document. So mine's loading. But look at this, how clean it comes across now. And it has a start signing button instead of a big old gaudy ink pen. And I accept it. And when I click here, and I have to click on the X's to make them appear, then you hit complete signing. The difference is that if you hit complete, it is, which I don't like, it doesn't complete the signing. You have to hit complete signing. So it's good to tell your people that. Now, if I reloaded this, which is the transaction itself, so here it is. It's appeared back in my document box. This is exactly what we just did. So folders, how to create folders, how to use AuthentiSign when we're not available to print, you know, so this, and to save paper. That's what we just went over. And we went over your profiles. That is what I had planned on going over today. Please reach out to me if you have any questions.